Hello everyone. Welcome back to another TBR Tuesday. We skipped last Tuesday, so stick around to the end to see some from last week that I didn't get to. But I am so excited for the books that are coming out today, May 20th. I can't believe it's already May 20th. I feel like I started doing this a little over a month ago and the time has just flown by. So I have been waiting for this one. I'm going to link every single book down below, by the way. And also, I guess I should let you know, if you're new to this series, this is a series that I like to call TBR Tuesdays. On this channel, I normally post device reviews like e-readers, Kindles, Kobos, things like that, comparisons. And then I also just talk a lot about books and I post some book vlogs too. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you give this video a thumbs up so you see more of my content and help me to get to reach more people, and also subscribe so you don't miss any more TBR Tuesdays. So The Night and the Moth. This one is by Rachel Gillig. And this one, the reason it has been long awaited for me personally is because Rachel Gillig is one of my very favorite authors. If you have been on this channel, you know that I do not ever stop talking about One Dark Window, which is the first book in the Shepherd King duology by Rachel Gillig. There's One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. And I actually have something really cool coming up that has to do with Rachel Gillig. So if you want to see that, you're definitely gonna have to make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're showing those little notifications because it's actually happening very soon. And I'm behind on vlog editing, but I'm going to try and put up the Rachel Gillig situation earlier than the other vlogs. So you'll get to see that soon. But The Night and the Moth is another it sounds very atmospheric, sounds very gothic. It sounds like it is just kind of a perfect fantasy. It's got a little quote here from Rebecca Ross, the author of Divine Riddles. Oh, I can't talk, you guys. I wake up so early to film these. You can see I've got my coffee right here in my little Star Wars or Galaxy's Edge mug. But I wake up so early to film these before work that sometimes I just feel like I'm rambling. And by the time I get around to editing, I'm like, what was I even saying? So sorry if it's a little rambling. This one is about a girl named Sybil who is a diviner, and then there's a knight named Roderick who kind of doesn't believe her, and so I'm guessing there's going to be some things with her being able to see the future and whether or not that impacts both of them, all that. So it's a little bit vague. I'm not going to lie, the description is a little bit vague, and again, I'll link it below so you can see it, but the hardcover is really, really pretty, and there are some special editions with sprayed edges, and this one is not on Kindle Unlimited. There are a couple here today that I'm going to show you that are, so I'll try and remember to tell you which ones are on Kindle Unlimited, but you can always check out the little Kindle sample. Wow, it's going to be one of those days. You can also check out the Kindle sample if you want to see more about it, and I will keep you updated because obviously I am reading this right now. I just started a new reading vlog last night, and again, I know the vlogs have been a little behind, but this one is going to be the first one that I read in this new reading vlog that I just started as I downloaded it last night. This next one is called Heart of the Sun by Mia Sheridan. And Mia Sheridan has been someone that I've been reading for a very, very, very long time. She started out doing just romance, and then she branched off into thriller, and this book is actually a great combination of both. I've never read anything like it, to be quite honest with you. I feel like I've always wanted to read something like this, but no one has ever done it, and Mia Sheridan did it really, really, really well. I read this actually in like December, January, kind of around there. And this one is a love story. It's hard for me to tell you what it is without spoiling it. But basically, we have our main characters, and Tuck has just come back from prison you get the whole flashback, you get the whole backstory about what happened, and he needs a job, so he actually goes to visit his childhood best friend Emily, who has become a pop star named Nova. And you get the whole kind of beginning where like he's her bodyguard, she's a pop star, you get that whole trope. And then something happens where, I don't want to spoil the exact thing, but the power goes out everywhere across the entire United States, and they have to live in a survival situation like it is The Last of Us or something post-apocalyptic like that, where they have to figure out how to get home, figure out what's happening, and it is harrowing. Like this is not a book for the faint of heart. Like you go into it thinking it's like a love story. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. And then as you get through it, it's just completely heart-wrenching. It took me a while because it was a little too real for me at the time that I was reading it. There were like things going on in the world. I mean, there always are things going on in the world, but it was quite a lot. But I really, really enjoyed it, and it did make me think, like, what would I hope that I had at the time that this happened if I was out of the house, or where would I go if something like this happened. So this was really, really interesting. I did end up giving it 5 stars. It was like 6-star. You guys know that sometimes I do 6 stars. It was like 5.5 stars for me. Like, it was really, really, really good. And Mia Sheridan just has such a way of captivating you and sucking you in and making you feel like you are there with the characters. So I absolutely love this one. There is a sprayed edge special edition, which I will also link below, which I've been showing you guys for a couple of months. But now that it's finally out, you can go check it out. It's also on Kindle Unlimited, which is great. So let me know if you're going to check this one out. Let me know in the comments if you're going to check any of these out, or what looks good to you, or if I missed any book, because this is by no means an exhaustive list of what's come out. It just, there are things that look interesting to me, or things that I've read that do come out today. This next one I also had the pleasure of reading a little bit early. It is called How to Sleep Like a Caveman. And this one I thought was so fascinating because it had to do with the science of sleep and also evolution, and why it's so important, and kind of how our lives with screens, ironically, have made it harder for us to get a better night's rest. And it was so funny because I'm like reading this on my screen, even though I had the warm light and everything, because this is the Colorsoft. But it was just so funny because I'm reading this book about how I should be staying away from screens and all this stuff, and it was a little bit ironic, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I really enjoyed it. I felt like I was getting better sleep just by trying to read more about it. And I always like to learn the science behind things, where certain things come from, and this one I really, really enjoyed. I think I will probably read it again. I might actually get a physical copy of it, so that way I can actually do the things that he suggested in the book and not be reading it on a screen at night. So I might do that. You can see in here, there are so many different things where it talks about like why should we sleep, different things like that, like how you can sleep better, clocks, like your body clock, and then it also tells you how to get a better night's sleep in 3 weeks. So I think I might try that sooner rather than later and let you know how it goes. But if anybody else has trouble sleeping, this one might be a good one for you. And maybe our little secret emoji for this video can be a moon or a sun, depending on which one you want to put, moon or a sun or both. That'll be our little thing, because it's like sleeping. I know that some people have like better sun emojis than moon emojis, depending on what device you're watching. So that can be our little emoji. And let me know if you're going to check this one out. This next one is called Left of Forever. And this one is a second chance romance. And it sounds so atmospheric and so vibey. It's a Southern California type of situation. I feel like you can almost kind of see, I wonder if these are like redwoods in the background, but I've heard really, really good things about this one. I didn't get a chance to read it early, but I've heard really amazing things. If you're just looking for a cute romance, again, like second chance, it says this time they'll get it right, then I think you would absolutely love this one. It sounds really good, and it is on my TBR for sure. This one sounds really interesting. I almost missed this one, but I just saw it as I was looking up a few more books. This one's called The Memory Collectors, and this one kind of reminds me a bit of Inception. I don't want to spoil anything too much, but it looks very interesting, where it's like people want a second chance to talk to their loved ones who are no longer with them. And in this one, something goes a bit wrong while a mother is talking to her son that is no longer with her. And it looks like it's a bit of a sci-fi, bit of a mystery, and I don't know, this just looks really, really cool. I feel like people are just coming up with such amazing ideas. I feel like we often say like books are just like the same things regurgitated. There are only so many ideas, but when you see things like this, I'm just like, actually, that looks really amazing. This one is so funny. I'm reading the description because I got to start listening to this one, but I didn't get that far in. I do have the audiobook from NetGalley that I need to listen to within the next week, but this one is called Not Safe for Work, and I was just laughing. I had to show you guys right here where it says, 2 workplace enemies find themselves in close proximity on a tropical company retreat. And I feel like that's all you need to know, right? Like that's all you need to know. So it looks like it's in Maui, and this cover is also just beautiful. So this one's Not Safe for Work. And like I said, I do have the audiobook for this one, and it has been really, really good so far. I like how down here it says, work was easier when he was her nemesis. So I'm sure we're going to have some enemies to lovers here. And if it's set in a tropical location, I'm in. Okay, we're going to have to pause this. Can you guys hear that going on outside? One sec. If you are someone who loves enemies to lovers romances, this is a good week for you because we also have The Love Haters by Catherine Center. And this one has to do with like one of those situations where you get one of the main characters gets caught in a lie and then it just like keeps going and going and going. Not really a lie, but like they have to pretend to do something they can't do for their job, and then just like it just spirals from there. You know, like a little resume fib that ends up where she is with her coworker's brother, it sounds like. So got some very interesting tropes there. And I do have the audiobook of this one as well, and I am working my way through it, and it is really, really funny so far. And also the cover is just really cute and summery. Also, this video, it just seems like there seems to be construction outside. I don't know why it's happening so early, but whatever, there's beeping. Hopefully my microphone is drowning it out. But this one is one that we missed from last week called A Curse Carved in Bone. And this is the sequel to Fate Inked in Blood, which I did DNF because I accidentally spoiled myself on the ending and I just wasn't loving the characters. I'm thinking about going back into it though, because I love Viking mythology and I love books that like it's by everything is saying that I should love this series, and I don't know why I didn't. I'm wondering if it was the audiobook. Sometimes the audiobook actually does like a terrible thing where it pulls me out of the story. I feel like, does that ever happen to you guys where like if the narrator is doing a certain thing, it makes you dislike the main character? So I'm wondering if it was the audiobook. So I think what I might do is I might try and get the book of A Fate Inked in Blood from Libby and then go to A Curse Carved in Bone, because it did, like the ending, it set it up for a really interesting twist for this book. So I want to know what happens, but I just didn't love A Fate Inked in Blood, but I wanted to. Everything in me really wanted to love it. So we will see. Let me know in the comments if you liked the first one in this series. And then this last one I also got to read an arc of. It's called Out of Air. This one is very like Outer Banks, treasure hunting, scuba diving, mystery type of situation. So like White Lotus meets Outer Banks kind of a situation. And it's very mysterious. I could not stop reading. I read this in one day. So if you are into thrillers and you need a good one, this one I think came out either this week or last week. Can't remember if we missed it or not, but I love this one. So that is our TBR Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if I missed any and let me know which ones you are going to check out. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more.